Okay, I'm not quite sure why I'm recording this because I cannot find that book. Here I am. I can find every single book I've ever owned in my whole entire life. I've got a whatever kind of memory for that kind of stuff. And now I can't find my book that I just had. So, well, Thursday, which is not a good thing since it was Thursday since I had it. Gosh, I look like my mom, like, every time I see myself through those glasses. Okay, so, give me a sec while I look one more place or two, and if I don't find it, I'm going to see if I can't pull it up on library.org. Whew. Yeah. I'll be right back. Enjoy some music. Oh. We could go back to Human Zoo since we're doing Animal Farm. I think we will. Is that you making fun of me over there with your... I heard you. I heard you. Lizard lips. Yeah, I called you lizard lips. I don't even care. Holy moly, I'm sweating. Oh, yeah, that looks good. It's really moving really slow. And look at you, see I'm dripping sweat. Oh, you know what I did? I closed it, is what I did. Oh, who knew this was going to take this long? Seriously.
In the cage with a monkey is an outrage. The Negro race in America has a hard enough time as it is, and
yeah, I'm moving
forward by hucksters, not scientists. But the quest to dramatize the lower stages of human evolution eventually reached far beyond freak shows. It ultimately involved the most elite members of the scientific community, and it was given a platform at one of the most celebrated events in early 20th century America. Today, Forest Park in St. Louis is a place for walking, or riding a bicycle, or spending a quiet Sunday afternoon. But more than a century ago, it was one of the most visited locations in the entire United States, the site of the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Attracting more than 19 million visitors, the World's Fair was known for its lavish neoclassical buildings.
That was 1904, and if you are in my Bookless classroom, what you'll know that was going on during 1904 was a resurgence of Confederate monuments. The most resurgence between 1900 and 1920, which inspires this kind of racist violence that we see again in 2017, and we know that it's inspired, not entirely, but at least in part, by this kind of racist rhetoric.
its 22-story-high Ferris wheel, and the public debut of innovations such as the X-ray machine and the ice cream cone. But the fair had a darker side. Organizers imported thousands of indigenous peoples from around the world to be put on public display in what was essentially a giant human zoo. Unlike freak shows, the Human Zoo in St. Louis was created with the cooperation of America's scientific establishment. The man behind the Human Zoo was anthropologist William McGee. One of the nation's leading scientists, McGee had already served as acting president of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. In 1903, he was asked to head the anthropology department for the World's Fair. McGee had grand plans of presenting the story of human evolution by displaying representatives of what he considered lower stages of the human race. McGee's plans reflected the ideas of mainstream anthropology of the time.
Anthropology was kind of founded on this idea of mapping civilization from the highest to the lowest, right? With the lowest at that time said to be Africans, and then you sort of move up. Leading men of science from Harvard and Princeton and Columbia University were saying that Africans were midway between an orangutan and a human being.
Like many scientists of his day, McGee drew inspiration for his ideas on human development from Darwin's theory that humans had evolved from ape-like ancestors.
Darwin's theory provided a template for categorizing Africans as biological inferiors. His impact created a bandwagon effect on many scholars on both sides of the Atlantic. Africans were demeaned with terms like savages and compared to animals. Admittedly, some of these comparisons were used before Darwin, but after Darwin, they increasingly took on the authority of science.
Darwin argued that the break in evolutionary history between apes and men came between Africans and Australian Aborigines and gorillas. In other words, he thought blacks were the closest humans to apes. German scientist Ernst Haeckel helped popularize the idea.
Ernst Haeckel was the leading German Darwinist in the late 19th and early 20th century. He corresponded extensively with Darwin, and Darwin recognized Haeckel's affinity with his own theory.
Ernst Haeckel also is known for his raving racism. And in fact, he had a graphic of the history of human evolution that, in very pointed terms, really embedded a racist view of human evolution. You have the Teutonic male on the top, the sort of Germanic male, and then at the bottom, you had some creatures that